Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm your host, Sarah Bernard, and joining me is Yvonne Berry, who is with the Red Cross. And the Red Cross is busy right now on a national level and on a local level. So we've had a huge storm out east, Hurricane Sandy. So let me ask you a question. When we knew that the storm was coming, everyone received a few days notice that it was on its way. At what point does the Red Cross get involved? At that point?
Red Cross gets involved before the disaster strikes, because it is important that we mobilize our volunteers and to get our volunteers to areas before the disaster hits. So we are mobilizing volunteers before the disaster strikes.
So just based on the assumption that it was going to be a huge storm, you sent people out. So if it turns out a storm isn't as big, it's that I'm sure that happens, you turn people around.
Right. If we determine that a storm isn't as large as what we anticipated, then those volunteers that we have on hold, we will not send those volunteers. But we will certainly identify key volunteers in the area of damage assessment, mass feeding, and sheltering. And then after the disaster strikes, and then we see kind of what the situation is, then we are able to send additional volunteers according to the need.
Yeah, so do you know how many volunteers were sent to the East Coast from the Red Cross?
From the St. Louis region, we have forwarded and deployed 48 volunteers.
48. So how many on a national level, do you know?
On a national level, we are now dealing with about 6,000 volunteers. And just happy to say that there are volunteers from all 50 states, from all over the country. But St. Louis is certainly doing its part.
Yeah, 48 volunteers.
Absolutely.
Who were there for a while, I guess.
They're there for a while. They are there to meet the emergency needs as well as extended needs. So in addition to the volunteers, we have also forwarded we have about 46 huge trailers there for support of the effort. We have 5 of our emergency response vehicles there on site as well. So the St. Louis region has donated all types of blankets, over 19,000 blankets, and we're there. And one thing I would like to say as far as Red Cross in St. Louis, throughout the United States, we have warehouses that are strategically placed throughout the United States so that when a disaster strikes, we can get supplies to the affected area as expeditiously as possible. And of the 5 warehouses throughout the U.S., St. Louis has a warehouse right here in this area.
Really?
So that's great. So that really helps to get those supplies out to families that need it right away.
Right. So the warehouse here, is it always kept stocked with supplies?
Always kept stocked with supplies. As a matter of fact, just a day or so ago, we had local leaders and emergency responders. We had elected officials to come to just see the warehouse.
Really?
So it was a great thing just to see what we are doing in St. Louis.
So in your job with the Red Cross, Community Resilience Director, is that right?
Community Resilience Manager, and in my role, I help the community to prepare for disaster. We get disaster preparedness information to families, and this could be through a venue of health fairs. Many of the corporations in the area have employee fairs. It is through presentations at civic groups, at schools. We get the information out because we want the community to be able to respond and to respond to the information, but also bounce back, the resiliency part of it.
Right.
If you have information up front, then you're able to bounce back because you have the information that you need.
Right. Well, it sounds like a really interesting job, and it's so great that so much is happening from St. Louis to benefit the unfortunate victims on the East Coast.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about how people today, right now in St. Louis, can still help the efforts.
Wonderful.
So what's going on?
And all that we do, we cannot do what we do, the response efforts, without the community. And on Wednesday, November 14th, the Office of the License Collector, City of St. Louis, the Office of Michael McMillan, spearheaded a drive today to engage St. Louis City employees, to engage the community, as well as community partners, to come and to donate. And the name of this charity drive, we'll what's called sharing and caring.
Okay, so sharing and caring, what happened, it kicked off today
Right.
at City Hall,
Uh-huh.
but it's going to continue until the day before Thanksgiving.
Day before
So-
Thanksgiving. So anyone who would like to go and to donate toward Hurricane Sandy, they can go to City Hall,
Okay.
Office of the License Collector, room 104.
Okay, so you're looking for supplies or money or?
Financial contributions.
Financial, okay.
Simply because the financial contributions will help to purchase the items that are needed to provide assistance to
Yeah.
families there.
So,
the
yeah.
financial contributions would be, again, taken to the
Right.
Office of the License
So
Collector.
it's a lot easier to bring a checkbook to City Hall than a carload of supplies.
Absolutely.
So I'm all in favor of that.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
so viewers can contribute to the Red Cross's efforts for the East Coast by bringing your checkbook to room 104. Is that right?
104, correct.
City Hall on Market Street, downtown. And Yvonne, we want to thank you for coming and sharing
Thank
with
you.
us all of the efforts that Red Cross is doing. It's really great to know how St. Louis is involved with at our
you.
national level and our local level. So stick around, we've got more coming up. We do need to take a quick break, but remember to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. As we go to break, take a look at these hot jobs being brought to you by Slate and Missouri Career Source. And we'll be back with more after this.